and passport could be combined in one machine-readable document that would stop illegal immigrants cold. Okay, I have my card now. I have ostensibly just come into the United States from a foreign country. Let's see if this card will allow me back into my own country. All right, the first step is to press any key, okay? The computer checks my card, my flight, and my hand. In seconds, I have a receipt to show customs. Hey, it let me back in. Welcome home! Similar smart cards are already being used by some foreign countries, including the Netherlands, which uses a finger image from a machine like this one. The INS concedes that might present special problems here because many Americans see any kind of fingerprinting as an invasion of privacy. At Newark Airport, Stephanie Shelton, Channel 11 News at 10.
Thank you.
And let's go right to the weather to find out good, bad. It depends on what you know, it's been kind of pleasant.
I think she does like it on the cool side. And she'll be very, very happy over the next couple of days. Temperatures remaining unseasonably cool. Highs today just in the 60s. We'll warm up to maybe 70 degrees tomorrow. But will you see some sunshine? I'll let you know. Don't go away.
If you want to be in a position of power, then get behind the wheel of a 1994 Jeep Grand Cherokee V8 with a powerful 220 horsepower engine, 6,500-pound towing capacity, standard driver's side airbag, and four-wheel anti-lock brakes. It lets you command power in any situation. The Jeep Grand Cherokee V8, the only thing more.
There may have been gray skies overhead today, but Central Park was a rainbow of color, and it was hosting a hot air balloon race. Balloons were set to take off from the Great Lawn today for the Big Apple Balloon Fest, but the race never got off the ground because of wet weather. Well, during a break in the rain, our own Mr. G got a lift with WCBS Radio's cousin Brucey for a very short ride. The weather didn't deter the onlookers either, who came to see the colorful spectacle and stayed despite occasional downpours.
Well, it still looked like a little fun getting a couple of feet off the ground anyway.
Sure, it was the spirit of things.
Anyway, those drizzle, that wet weather, is it going to change, Linda?
We actually had about a third of an inch of rain in Central Park today. Temperatures well below normal, and you know, I think they did have a rather good time out there. Not too much rain in the city. We did have some heavier downpours across the area. Record high is 91, record low 44. Temperatures unseasonably cool. Look at this. Just 64 for Islip and Bridgeport. Afternoon high temperatures. Normally we're in the mid-70s this time of year. 70 in Atlantic City, 65 in Trenton, as well as Morristown. Right now in Central Park, it's cloudy out there. We can't seem to get rid of this rain. And there will be a chance of showers all the way until early tomorrow morning. The humidity way up there, 97%. With that, early tomorrow morning, still you could see some patchy dense fog. Winds out of the west at 6. The barometer is holding steady. Temperatures in the 60s. Good news, overnight lows down into the 50s, so it'll be great sleeping weather tonight. 61 in Morristown, 66 in Poughkeepsie right now, 61 in Trenton. The rain, all the heavier rain now out in the Atlantic. We have one more batch of showers well to the west of us now. We have one more cold front to get through the area, and then we'll finally have a break, and you'll get to see a little bit of sunshine. I know Val's been saying, is it cloudy like this all the time? No, Valerie, we do have some sunshine here in New York City, and you'll see it real soon. Here are the cloudy skies across the area. We actually have two frontal systems, one that moved through today. It's now out in the Atlantic. There's its current location. It was responsible for the rain and scattered showers that we had today. Another front sitting further to the west. We have a few light scattered showers around this frontal system. Watch what happens tonight. This frontal system moves rapidly down into the area. Early tomorrow morning, it'll actually move through the tri-state. So early tomorrow morning, you could see some scattered showers. Tomorrow afternoon, though, high pressure will push in. With that, you could see some sunshine in the afternoon. However, clockwise flow of air, strong northerly, northwesterly breezes tomorrow. It'll be rather breezy. With high temperatures just in the 60s, it'll feel quite a bit like autumn tomorrow. The forecast then for tomorrow, look for mostly sunny skies later in the day. Early on, a few scattered showers. Possibility of reaching 70 degrees, probably just staying in the 60s, the upper 60s across the area, 69 Atlantic City, as well as Islip. Now the full 5 days ahead. Temperatures in the 60s, certainly on Monday, just the mid-60s. Very autumnal out there, huh? On Tuesday, 65 degrees, a few scattered showers. On Wednesday, mostly sunny, 68. And on Thursday, 71 degrees with a few scattered showers. Now don't worry about the rain tomorrow. It will be early on in the day, so sleep late. It's Sunday, and you'll see some sunshine sometime later in the afternoon.
I like that.
So weather's a good time to go to the movies, and there's a big one, the first big movie of the fall movie season, The Age of Innocence, based on the romantic drama written by Edith Wharton. It stars Michelle Pfeiffer and Daniel Day-Lewis, and it's opening up this weekend all over the country. Jim Moret has this behind-the-scenes report.
It is perhaps the least American-looking film to come from one of America's premier filmmakers, Martin Scorsese. The look and feel of The Age of Innocence is decidedly European in quality, even though the movie itself focuses on New York's high society of the 1870s.
On the surface, it's different from my other films, yeah, on the surface. The clothes they're wearing and the decor and the food and that sort of thing. But I think the passion is still the same. It's expressed differently. It's repressed.
Are you very much in love with her? As much as a man can be.
They say things but don't say anything. You know, and that's very hard to do, to direct in a film.
I kind of felt like he could do anything, you know, it didn't really, I thought, oh, well, this is great, this is a slight departure for him, but it's also a subject matter he really loves. It's about New York, so in that sense, he didn't stray that far.
Three-time Academy Award nominee Michelle Pfeiffer plays Countess Ellen Olenska. She becomes caught in a love triangle with Academy Award winner Daniel Day-Lewis as Newland Archer and Winona Ryder as his fiancée, Mae Welland.
You knew that you couldn't be happy if it meant being cruel. Don't you see I can't love you unless I give you up?
I think it seemed very strong and powerful to put through in the dialogue scenes between Archer and Ellen. I find those to be, those took the most care and the most anxiety, in a sense, for me to work on.
You gave me my first glimpse of a real life, and then you told me to carry on with a false one. No one can endure that.
I'm enduring it.
I sort of feel comfortable in a way making In the World of a Goodfellas or a Raging Bull to a certain extent, but you know, when you make movies, it's very hard, and you don't go to make a movie to feel comfortable.
Cut. Jim Moret, Hollywood.
I can hardly wait to see this one. They say it's historically perfect in every way.
Down to the ashtrays.
Down to the ashtrays. Time for a do-over. Okay, you explain that one, Bob.
Just a crazy thing, a let in a baseball game. Tennis, yeah, but baseball? It happened at the stadium today. The Yankees get 4 outs in the 9th inning, and did they ever take advantage of it? The Blue Jays go for their 7th win in a row today, the cream rising to the top in the AL East. And the NL West tightens up again when a Mets rookie gets his first Major League hit. Wild finishes for the locals today.
And he's in safely, going to third on the base hit.
Palestinian athletes may be competing in the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. They cleared the initial hurdle today as the International Olympic Committee, meeting in Monte Carlo, granted recognition to a Palestinian Olympic Committee. Some details still have to be worked out, but the recognition now clears the way for Palestinians to take part in those games.
Well, you know, credit where credit is due, and so let's let Goldie give the honors here as we talk sports.
We talk George Steinbrenner, who takes a lot of heat, but when he makes a good move, let's give him credit. Steinbrenner, unbeknownst to Gene Michael and Buck Showalter, brought up a player today named 2 Outs Timoney from their Columbus farm. Now, Timoney never dressed for the game, but the strategy worked. The Yankees won it in the home 9th as 2 Outs did his thing to perfection. This is the top of the first, over 55,000 looking on as Jimmy Key gives up a 2-run homer to Mo Vaughn. The Red Sox quickly lead it 2-0. They led 3-0 in the 7th when Paul O'Neill gets the Yankees' first run. This one just makes it, but it makes it. The only run off rookie Nate Minchie, who was outstanding today. It's a 3-1 game. Enter 2 Outs Timoney with 2 outs in the 9th. Mike Stanley seemingly flies to left to end the game. This one's over. But no, Timoney, who makes his living out of this, came out before the pitch. The timeout was called, and Red Sox manager Butch Hobson upset. As you can see, here's the reason why. Here's 2 outs doing his thing, and that's what kept the Yankees going. And did they ever take advantage? Stanley with the life singles, runners first and second. Boggs drills one to Scott Fletcher's left. Nice stop, but he loses it. Boggs is safe. Gallego scores to make it 3-2. Then after Deion James walked to load the bases, Don Mattingly comes up and he ends it. Mattingly singles, 1 run in. The second run when Andy Stankiewicz, who is pinch running, scores. The Yankees win 4-3. They remain 3 games behind Toronto thanks to 2 outs, Timoney causing do-overs. The Red Sox are protesting this game that the Yankees did not have crowd control or have the crowd under control, and that it affected the outcome of the game. Doubt if they'll win that one, but it's worth a shot. The Blue Jays won their 7th game in a row this afternoon. That ties a season high. They beat Minnesota and still lead the Yankees by 3 games, 4 in the loss column. Scoreless in the top of the 3rd. Ricky Henderson gets it going. He singles. Ed Sprague digging for home. Slide, Ed, slide. All right, don't listen. But he made it anyway. 1-0 Jays. Carter scores to make it 3-1. Then it's Pat Borders. Borders singles to left field. This one scores Tony Fernandez. Here comes Sprague. This time Sprague does slide. His scores to make it 5-1 Jays. They win it. They lead it by 4. The cream, as we said, rising to the top very quickly now. On the scoreboard, Milwaukee leading Baltimore tonight 3-0. That game is now in the 9th. Oakland over Chicago 3-2. That's a final. Texas leading California 4-0 in the 1st. Detroit over Cleveland 7-6. And Kansas City and Seattle are just underway. The Mets ended the Braves' 5-game winning streak when Tito Navarro, who was 0 for 11 since being called up from the minors, got his first major league hit. It broke a 2-2 tie in the 9th. The Mets were happy. The San Francisco Giants absolutely ecstatic. Scoreless in the home 3rd. Jeff Blauser gets a Bobby Joe's hanging curve. He loses it. Number 15 for Blauser, and a 1-0 Braves lead. After Ron Gant had singled, he tries for second. Hundley right on target had Gant called out, but when Jeff McKnight drops it, it's changed to safe. The next pitch to Fred McGriff, hit in front of Ryan Thompson, who got the bad jump. Gant scores to make it 2-0 Atlanta. 2 on, top of the 9th. The Mets load the bases with 2 outs. Dave Gallagher into the hole. Great stop by Blauser, but he can't complete the force. The run scores. It's tied at 2. Top of the 10th. Tito Navarro, who was 0 for 11, makes it 1 for 12. Navarro's hit scores Darren Jackson. The Mets go on to beat the Braves 3-2. The Giants had won their game with Cincinnati before they got the good news from Atlanta. Todd Benzinger had 2 homers today. John Burkett won his first game in more than a month. 2 on in the 4th inning when Benzinger hits his 2nd home run in the game off Tim Pugh. This the hunt as they trail the Braves by 3. The Phillies, who had lost a 7-3 lead in their loss to Montreal last night, tried again tonight. The Expos now just 4 games behind the Phillies in the race that wasn't supposed to be. Another close one. Top of the 3rd of a 1-1 game. Mariano Duncan singles past 3rd. Phillies pitcher Tommy Green scores for a 2-0 lead. The Phils led 5-1. They won it 5-4, and they now lead the Expos by 5 games again. On the scoreboard, Chicago over Florida 6-5. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh 8-0 in the 7th. Houston over San Diego 4-2 in the 8th. And Los Angeles leads Colorado 4-0 in the 4th. A great stretch run at Belmont today. And in college football, big play action in the top 10, big plays, and thoroughbreds when we come back. In college football, 13th ranked North Carolina hosted top-ranked Florida State tonight. Florida State had won its first 3 games by a combined score of 144-7. That could be intimidating, and it was. It's 17-7. I piled it on as Florida State beats North Carolina 33-7. Arkansas at number 2 Alabama, 10-point conversion. Northwestern takes the lead 22-21. They BC 22-21. Top 10 action this afternoon. It was number 3 Miami of Florida beating Virginia Tech 21-2. Number 9th ranked Florida at home knocks off Tennessee 41-34. Syracuse and Texas, as we mentioned, in a 21-all tie. Colorado, number 7 in the country at Stanford tonight. No score in the first. Number 8 Nebraska knocks off UCLA 14-13. Of local interest, Villanova knocks off Fordham 25-5. A couple of Ivy League games. Princeton comes back from 12-0 to beat Cornell 18-12. Harvard knocks off Columbia 30-3. It was Wagner 34, St. John's 9. Duke over Army 42-21. And Lehigh beats Hofstra 31-24. It's been a pretty good year for a couple of thoroughbreds named Dahair. The horse Dahair was the first horse in 77 years to sweep all 2-year-old stakes at Saratoga this summer. The basketball Dahair, Terry, one of the best guards in the country, was a first-round pick of the L.A. Clippers a couple of months ago. But the horse Dahair, named after Terry, ran in today's Futurity at Belmont Park. Track announcer Tom Durkin calls it.
2.5 lengths. Prenup is second, and DeHare is getting on track, and here he comes on the outside, but he has to catch Holy Bull with less than a furlong to run. DeHare on the outside is second as Holy Bull continues to hold on. DeHare giving his all as they come down to the line, and it is Holy Bull. Holy Bull holds on by a diminishing half length.
And if you waged a few bob at OTB, winner Holy Bull paid $8.20, $3 and $2.80. Second was DeHare paying $2.20 and $2.20. Prenup finished third and paid $3.50. And that's it in sports.
Giants at home tomorrow up against the Rams. They're going to make it 3 in a row?
Giants, oh sure, 3 in a row. The Jets have the day off. Giants looking good. I have a question though.
What?
It just hit me.
Go.
Has anybody heard from Ray Hanley, last year's coach? Is he back in Nevada? Is he in law school?
Right.
I don't know.
It's a mystery.
No.
Nobody knows.
Haven't
Okay.
a clue.
Check into it and give us an answer.
We'll give you an
tomorrow.
answer tomorrow.
Okay. Well, the rain, it didn't stop hundreds of German Americans from coming out and celebrating their heritage in the 36th annual Steuben Day Parade. That turnout may have been slightly dampened by the wet weather, but the spirits remained high. Mayoral candidate Rudolph Giuliani joining in as various Steuben associations marched along Fifth Avenue honoring the rich heritage of German Americans. And the parade also celebrating the contribution people of German descent made toward the making of America.
And finally tonight, one last look at the numbers that you can call this weekend for the very latest information on which schools will be open or closed this Monday. The first is a 24-hour hotline where you can get details about any situation at any particular school. That number is 1-800-246-4646. And the Board of Education has set up a general asbestos hotline. That number is area code 718-472-1705. And a reminder to stay tuned to Channel 11 News for the very latest on the asbestos crisis. And join us tomorrow evening at 10 for a live in-studio interview with the school's chancellor, Ramon Cortines. And that is the Channel 11 News for this Saturday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Valerie Coleman.
And I'm Marvin Scott. We'll see you tomorrow night at 10. Cheers is next. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
And the land is dark, and the moon